Hey dolls, welcome back to my channel, Sharon's Nail Art and More. This is a Glam&Glitz acrylic full set that I did about a week ago. So I'm using my OPI Bond Aid, which just helps remove some of those extra oils that you may not have gotten all the way out with your prep. So I have already gone in, pushed the cuticles back, removed the dead skin from the nail plate, and that's when you complete your prep with your OPI Bond Aid. Now I'm going in with my No Lift Nails acid-based primer, which you want to use dry when you go in with your acrylic. If you have an acid-less primer, you may go in while it's still damp. So I'm just going in on all the nails with my first coat of that, and then I will lay down a second one right before acrylic application. And I may do one or two nails at a time because, you know, it takes a second for it to dry. So now I'm going in with my Mia Secret Clear for the base, so I have something to file back down to. You want to go in with a wet bead, and see, I'm just pushing it out, pulling down, pat pat to the other side, pull down. So the whole nail, basically with short nails especially, will have a thin layer of clear acrylic. Now you don't always need to put it over the whole entire nail, but when I do short nails, I just like to have full coverage of the thin clear layer, just so I don't file the nail off when I file back down, because when you get it back thin, you could break the nails pretty easily. So now I'm going in with my next nail. I push down and out, pull down, pat, pat, pull. Pretty easy once you get the hang of it. And you have to, your brush is very important. You have to have a good brush. This is my number 12 oval, and this is my aquarium brush. I actually bought it like that from AliExpress. If I could find the link, I will share it with you in the description box below. So I do two nails at a time usually, like I said, because it takes a second to dry. So I'm going to go in again with my thin clear layer of Mia Secret Clear. That is usually what I use. In between I use Glam&Glitz, but as long as you're using the same base and top, you're fine. I'm actually using my OPI Monomer, which for me it works just as good as the Mia Secret Monomer. I don't have any issues with it. Typically you want to use the same system. I ran out personally, so I'm using my OPI Monomer, which, like I said, when I first tried it, I did a test run with it and it worked out great. So I actually like it better than the Mia Secret liquid, and it works really, really good with the Mia Secret Clear. As you can see, I'm going in pretty quickly with my thin layer. It doesn't take much time. I just wanted to share it with you guys so you can see how I do my whole entire set from start to finish. If you're interested in seeing me apply tips and do my full prep routine, just let me know in the comment section below. If you need to get in contact with me and you're maybe interested in having me review some of your products, nail art in particular, I will leave my email in the description box below for you. So beginners, you want to really keep an eye on how people pat their acrylic out, because that's like the hardest thing for beginners to try and nail, is getting their acrylic application down to a science. With time you get better. I know I was looking at some of my earlier footage, and I've really progressed over the last couple of years. In the beginning, I didn't know how to really do it to where I felt comfortable with a certain routine, and now this is pretty much what works best for me. I pat it down, I pull down one side, and then I pat out to the other side and then pull down. But there's different ways that people do it. Some people start at the bottom and work their way up. I tend to do that sometimes, but usually I don't. So I'm just finishing up here on the last thumbnail with the thin clear layer, and then I will be going in with my Glam&Glitz acrylic, colored acrylic. So we are doing an ombre, yes. I love doing ombres, especially with Glam&Glitz because it's a wetter system, so they just ombre so well. And I've used colors that people typically wouldn't use, so I just love how they look together. So I'm just going to finish that up, and then we'll move on to our Glam&Glitz ombre. And I'm going to start with the GrayGray from Glam&Glitz Naked Acrylic Collection, which is what you see right here. So I put my first bead, I tap it out from side to side, really wet. I pull down the sides first and then the middle, so you're going to get an even layer all throughout. So just really watch when I place. It's really wet. I pat out the top with my brush angled at a 45-degree angle, and then I pull down my sides. And I clean up my sides if I need to. But up where that blend is, you'll see it's really thin. And that's due to the angle of my brush. So now I'm going to go in with my purple acrylic, which is called On Your Mark by Glam&Glitz, and it's also part of the Naked Color acrylic collection. I love this purple. I actually have to get more. The gray is really beautiful too. If you're interested in more of a darker gray, you can get Desire by Glam&Glitz. That's like a more darker charcoal gray. But me personally, I love this gray right here. So I am gonna perfect my blend more there. I will go in with some more gray, a little more purple I think first. And then I will go in with a little bit more gray. So I add a little bit of purple right there in the joint in the center. I wipe my brush, kind of just cleaning up a little bit there. Just looking around all the angles and sides of the nail, making sure that my blend is how I want it. And then I add some more gray, pull down. And then I think I add a little more purple. Yes. So I needed some on that side there, as you can see. And then I just pull that over. And just kind of clean up my sides. And I believe then we move on to our next nail. So on this ring finger, I'm actually going in with my Recollections Holographic Extra Fine Glitter. She wanted glitter nails on 2 out of the 5 on each. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of pouring some onto a lid. It doesn't need to be fancy. You don't have to have it pre-mixed. I usually do sometimes, but if I get a client that's wanting something in particular, I'll just kind of pour out a glitter onto a lid and dip my brush in clear and pick up the glitter with that, a really wet bead. And I actually start at the free edge of the nail and then work my way back to the cuticle area. That tends to work better actually with glitter nails. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm flipping my bead over and I'm pushing it out, kind of patting it around to the sides and working it down, as you can see, kind of feathering that top part up so it's not a harsh line when I go in with the next bead. It's a really pretty silver holographic and it goes on the nail beautifully. And see, I'm flipping that bead over. You don't have to, it just, for me, the glitter tends to stand out better when you do it that way. So I'm just patting that around to the edges, getting it nice and neat around that cuticle area, getting it nice and flush, patting it out to the side, and then pulling down my center. And wiping my edges, getting those nice and flush. I use my nail every so often. Please excuse the state of my nails. I just have not had the time to do my own. I've been pretty busy lately with clients and my son at school and a lot of activities going on, so please don't mind my nails. They're hideous right now. So I'm just adding more glitter where I need to. If I need some more, I'll add some to my wet brush and, you know, clean it off as necessary. And I think that's all I did there. I might add a little bit more up near that corner right hand side, near the cuticle. Yeah. And I just push it up kind of evenly. You want to make sure that your cuticle area is nice and flush and you get it as close to the skin without touching as possible. Over time, you will get this. It was hard for me in the beginning. It was really hard. But over time, like I said, I got it down packed. So now I'm moving on to the middle finger, and I'm going in with an ombre again. So I start at the bottom with my GrayGray. I pat out the top to make it an even kind of joint area right there, and then I pull down my sides and then my center. You almost always will get a great coverage if you do it this way. That's what I've found works for me actually best. I wet my brush a little bit just to kind of feather that top joint area out a little bit more. I add a little to the free edge because it was not covered enough, and I just pull up the sides and then the center. And then I will clean my brush out. You cannot overly clean your brush, believe me. It should be very, very clean and neat, because if you get acrylic stuck in there, you're gonna have a really hard time doing the set of nails. So then I go in with my On Your Mark purple from Glam&Glitz Naked Color Acrylic Collection, and I pull down my sides and then I pull down my center. And I'm just pushing up to the cuticle a little bit more right there and cleaning my edges. These colors just blend so beautifully together. I'm just adding a little bit more to the corner there. Sometimes if it's too wet, you could get like a little bit of translucence depending on the acrylic itself. I think I go in with some more purple there, yeah, on the left side, just to make it full coverage. Not too much, just enough. And I believe I add some more gray to this as well, because you never want to have more on top than on the bottom. I mean, it definitely, oh, I didn't, I must have had enough. So, okay, so I'm going in with my metallic purple glitter that I got in a swap. I can't remember exactly which swap it was from, but I actually found that this glitter bled around the edges somewhat. It ended up being okay because it was like after I was filing and stuff, I noticed it was just around the edges. It wasn't like underneath in the nail itself. Just kind of like the little scraggly bits that were around the edge that weren't covered, but when you wash your hands, that comes off, so it didn't end up being an issue. But this glitter is really gorgeous. It was a beautiful metallic dark purple, and it went with this set beautifully. So let me know if you ladies are enjoying more of my voiceovers, or if you enjoy the music more. Just let me know in the comments below. I actually had a little too much of a bead there with the glitter, so I wiped some of it off. And it was important for me to go back into the side there and clean. This glitter did give me some issues just as far as how easy it was to push out and kind of pat out. I don't know why. I mean, some glitters can be like that. Usually the extra fine glitters aren't typically like that, so I was really surprised that it was giving me such a hard time. But I just went back in with a bead up at the top there and corrected those issues that I had and made my lines more perfect than they were. That side in particular, the left side there, it was making me so aggravated because, as we all know, once acrylic dries, it's dry, and it's typically hard to make see the sides there, how like when I went and wiped in, some bits stayed. Those are the bits that bled afterwards because they weren't like covered. So, but like I said, with washing your hands, that corrects itself pretty easily. Yeah, once I started on the other hand with this glitter, I didn't have an issue. It was just that first finger. It was making me so mad because, you know, I'm pretty neat when I work with nails, and I'm a perfectionist, and when I get an issue like that, it really aggravates me. But I just do my best to correct it and do what I have to do to make it better. So I just finish up at the free edge, add a little more glitter on top there, and blend it out, pull it down, make it even until I go in and encapsulate. So yeah, like I was saying, just let me know if you ladies want to see more voiceovers, or if you prefer the music, or if you like both, if you like the music in the background with my voiceover. I'm really just playing with editing stuff now, so oh my god, my nails are so hideous. Jesus, they're so hard to miss, aren't they? Oh my god. Okay, so I go in here with my GrayGray, and as you can see, there's some glitter stuck in my brush. So I'm just finishing up blending this nail here with my GrayGray, and then I go in with my On Your Mark from Glam&Glitz Naked Color Acrylic Collection. And I hope you guys enjoyed this voiceover. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. For all my new subbies, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I hope to see more of you subscribing. And if you'd like to see more of these videos on my channel, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. And I'm very open to constructive criticism. It doesn't bother me at all. If you put a dislike, please just let me know what I can improve on. If you'd like to see more with voiceovers or music, just let me know down below. Until my next one, ladies, I love you all so much. Have a great night. I'll see you in my next one. Bye now.